Hey guys, welcome back to Extreme Tarot. My name is Gina, and today we're doing a reading to take a look at your patterns in love and kind of like if you've been feeling stuck in love or you're not making any progress. Let's take a look at why that is, just so you could maybe like pinpoint what's been going wrong or going right, and heal whatever needs to be healed. And so that way we can all find success in love, because love, who doesn't want love, you know? So I have 3 piles for you to choose from. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Oh, I'm also doing a book, a little dip into this book, Why Men Love Bitches. I love this book, and it just has some advice, so we're just gonna get some also practical advice from Sherry Argov. I don't know how to say that, but I love this book and I feel like it gives good advice. This one is kind of like for the ladies. I don't know if these techniques work for men, but because I'm not a man, so I don't really know, but maybe. But so let's just take a second, pick a pile, and I will see you at your reading. Okay guys, so if you chose pile 1 and this shell here, this is going to be your reading. I'm going to put this like right here. And let's get into it. So, for your first card, we have Amalthea. We have Dilettante, if I'm saying that right. We have Blue Moon, the Unexpected. We have the Hermit, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Wands. And then I got a card from the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. We have the Rose Quartz, which I'm not surprised to see because this is like a pink shell that you were drawn to. And I feel like I was getting like rose quartz kind of like self-love like vibes. Let me just see. Yeah, you can see it over here. Okay. I think I might move this over here as well, so I have a little more space to spread out, and kind of move this up. All right, so let's jump into it and see kind of like what your patterns in love are and how they're helping or hindering your process. So the first thing that I'm getting with this Dilettante card, I have this card to represent like how the romantic partners see you and kind of like what their reactions are to it. So they see you as somebody that can kind of like do it all. She's holding like a potted plant here. She's painting a picture, she's reading a book, she's mixing up something to bake later. Like she's just like got like 5 arms here and is just like doing it all. And I feel as though there's like a little hair. I feel like that is a thing, like in your dynamics with other people, where I'm also hearing this song by Paula Deanda, I think it is. It's from when I was like in high school. I haven't heard the song, but it's called Doing Too Much. Leaving messages and voicemails telling you, I miss you, baby, am I doing too much? It doesn't necessarily have to be that where you're like calling or trying to like reach out to your person like all the time. But I feel as though, I feel as though you could be maybe trying someone who overextends yourself in a relationship and tries to be like everything. Because even this card, the Amalthea, this almost looks like a mom with 2 kids. So I feel like you could kind of get in your mother energy and really like try to take care of, and I see this very nurturing energy with the rose quartz, and even with this shell, like I was getting a very loving, and even with the hearts being depicted here, and it's like I don't think it's coming from a bad place necessarily where it's like you're trying to control or like, you know, make this person dependent on you. But I think that's what happens. They end up becoming dependent on you, because this card I have to see kind of like what their reactions are to your energy that they're perceiving. And you see how this person is just like leaning on this person, I feel like that's what ends up happening. Even they're leaning on her, like in this picture too. I just noticed that. So I think that's kind of like what ends up happening. And especially like for like, if you're trying to be in your feminine energy and receive, it's like there's something with give and take here with the Six of Pentacles and even this Hermit. It's interesting that these two cards came out together because you see these little like crumbs. It's like even when you're depleted and tired, this little snail looks like exhausted. It's like leaning up against this light post of like, I can almost see him like like but all they're getting back are like these little crumbs. They're like moving mountains for people and only getting crumbs back, which a lot of times is what the Six of Pentacles is about. But it's like they kind of get their bearings again, they rest for a second, and then it's like they're back at it. This is you giving, 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 and it's beautiful to give and be so giving. Like this person grew 5 extra arms so they could give, you know, like it's like you make the impossible possible. And like, yeah, that's very, you know, admirable in a way. You're a very caring person. I can see that your heart's in the right place, but at the same time, it's kind of creating an unequal dynamic where people maybe end up taking from you or leaning on you too much to the point that you're exhausted. And that's, you know, that's never healthy. Like it should be equal give and take, but even here it's like giving, giving, giving. And usually in the Six of Pentacles, it's like the one guy kind of giving to two. So there is people receiving in the picture and the imagery, and there is someone giving and receiving, but this, it's just giving, giving, giving. It's like, here, take everything I have. And maybe this isn't even just in your romantic relationships, because this, like I said, looks like a mother. So maybe with your family or something like that, like you're somebody that just try at work, like you're just someone that tries to be everything for everybody. And it's like a role that you thrive in, like you're good at it, but at the same time, like if you're the one feeling deplete, like this, oh my god, I keep like moving this so much, I'm so sorry. If you're feeling like this little snail here and like you can barely even like like stand up and catch your breath, I feel like you do end up feeling very frustrated, and kind of like, why am I not like getting anywhere? Like and especially like if you're more in your masculine energy, especially if you're like a feminine watching this, if you're more in your masculine energy, it kind of almost like energetically happens where like the masculine or the other person like slides into their feminine energy, where they're just the one like allowing you to kind of take the lead. But it's like, and it's like almost like the relationship never gets anywhere. It's like there's like all this potential, but then it's like they can't like step through like this portal. Like you guys can't, like the relationship never moves beyond a certain point. Even if it like you've been married and stuff like that, like that's, I'm not saying it like that, but like emotionally, like there's never that emotional fulfillment. I feel it ends up being a situation where like you're the one that is kind of left feeling unfulfilled, and it's like you keep trying to give more and give more to like to get back like to that spot where you feel fulfilled again, but it's just, it doesn't really work. Let me just see. So okay, I want to look at this rose quartz and read out of the book and just see what it says. This is like a healing deck. So rose quartz, unconditional love. This card. So rose quartz is full of unconditional love and infinite peace. It draws loving relationships to you, heals past emotional traumas, or provides support during a crisis. You are a beautiful soul who has infinite peace deep within and enormous empathy. Yeah, it's coming from a good place. That's just me talking. Sorry, that's not in the book. Relationships are where you learn your soul lessons. Heal heartbreak or abuse and dissolve toxic emotions and pain that prevent you from giving and receiving love. Yeah, giving and receiving. There's something with the way you give and receive love that's like out of balance. You have power to love unconditionally and to support others. Divination. Forgive yourself. Love and beauty approach. Loneliness is at an end. Emotional blockages dissolve. Do not accept blame. Recognize that unconditional love and friendship draw exactly the right people to you. Once you love yourself, you can give and receive love from others. Support is available in a crisis. And unconditional love is the greatest gift you can give to yourself or another. Now, that might seem contradictory, like I'm saying, like, don't give, and then this is like, no, giving to other people is like the way to be here. But what I'm like more so getting from this is like, you can give someone unconditional, sometimes giving someone unconditional love is like giving them tough love so they can grow. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel, or like taking a back seat and letting them like figure things out. Like, I feel like you almost are like, want to rush in and be like the savior, and it's good. It's like, because you care, you have empathy, and you're like, oh, I know the solution though, like I can help you. It's like coming from a very good place. But I feel as though, like I said, I keep wanting to say that you're depleted, you're depleted, you're depleted, like you're exhausted, like you're exhausting your resources and like sending them out instead of like putting them back into yourself, which I think is what spirit is like wanting you to do here. I also want to get some of these. They're these like tough love advice cards. So let's see what they have to say. And then we're going to do the book pull from Why Men Love Bitches. Let's see. I think we have to go this way. I don't really know which side is the front or the back. What advice does pile 1 need right now in regards to love? Oh. You look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Fact. Clean yourself up. I don't think you look like a shit show. That's a little tough there, universe. But I think what it's saying is, like, again, take that energy and like put it more towards yourself. Like, clean yourself up, or just take care of yourself, or like put that love back into yourself. Let's get another one. I'm going to take these literally. You are going through some tough shit. Sorry if you can't see it. Everyone has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather your tired ass up and handle it. Yeah, because maybe you're the kind of person that is like, will do anything for other people, but when it comes to yourself, it's like you have a hard time like doing things for yourself. That's kind of like another message I'm getting. So it's like, and again, gather your tired ass up and handle it. So it's like by the time like it's time to take care of yourself, you're so tired that you don't even have the energy to do it, which is like understandable, because I mean, look, you're giving like 24/7, even maybe at your job and stuff like that. It's like there's boundaries that need to be like created or reinforced here. Let's see what else for pile 1. Oh, something flipped. Have you eaten? You're acting like a big ass baby. I can't even with these. You need food in your belly. Eat a fucking taco. Okay. I mean, maybe that's just like they're saying, like, indulge and do some nice stuff for yourself. Cook like a nice meal for yourself. Look at the way you're like, I don't know, just take a look at your life. I don't know, this like food thing. Have you eaten? You're acting like a baby. I don't necessarily get that vibe, but I feel like this could be you, like with your people, like trying like, oh, like, what do you need? Like, do you, and even like with sex, that could be a thing too, like sex, like cooking for somebody, like cleaning up for them, taking care of them. It's like, I feel like you overextend yourself. So let's look in this book. Let's get a little book dip. We'll dip into this book and see what Sherry has to say. What advice for pile 1, Spirit and Sherry, do you have? Okay, this is about sex. That's interesting. So it's called One Juju at a Time. It's how to make the most of your feminine and sexual powers. So that's interesting. So yeah, I feel like getting into a more feminine energy, looking into feminine energy if you don't know like that much about it, or just like getting in touch with your inner, like just doing things for, let's just see what it says. Okay. Sorry. I'm just gonna read like both of these pages. If you look at the run-of-the-mill survey of what men find attractive in a woman, you'll get the basic, boring, predictable answers. Studies have concluded that what men look for is appearance, chemistry, and the way a woman carries herself. What a shocker. Then you turn the page. Buy a new lip gloss. Pluck out all your eyebrows and draw them back in. Stick 3 vials of collagen in your glossed up lips, and this will get him eating out of your hand, right? Not in this life. You'll be right back where you started, but with no eyebrows. Ever wonder why you see a gorgeous guy and marry the girl next door? To your eyes, she looks plain, but to his eyes, she's a natural beauty. It doesn't matter if her most glamorous moment was winning the Miss Pumpkin Patch contest on a farm at age 6. When he goes to bed with her, he's happier than a fat rat in a cheese factory. In general, there are 2 things a woman does to encourage a man to fall madly in love after he's attracted to her. First, she appeals to his imagination sexually. Second, she waits a little while before consummating the relationship sexually. This brings us to the candy store theory. Don't give up the candy store at once. Give it one jujube at a time. If a man has to wait before he sleeps with a woman, he'll not only perceive her as more beautiful, he'll also take time to appreciate who she is. What men don't want women to know is that almost immediately they put women into one of 2 categories, good time only or worthwhile. And the minute he slides you into that good time only category, you'll almost never come back out. It's not that the bitch is slutty or more conservative. It's that she demands, if they're making a comparison between a bitch and a nice girl. So it's not that the bitch is slutty or more conservative. It's that she demands that he treat her as though she is worthwhile. And more often than not, it means revealing her sexuality a little at a time. Before I continue, I just want to say, like, it could be sexuality, but, like, again, it could be other things we were talking about, cooking, cleaning, emotionally, like, trying to, like, support and, like, solve people's problems. Like, this is using sex, but again, like, this could be saying, like, don't start off in a relationship, like, doing a million things for people, like, don't give it all up at once, like, little by little, and make sure you're getting it back. So revealing her sexuality a little at a time, or giving a little at a time. With her demeanor, the bitch is subtly driving the train. Because he perceives her as slightly standoffish, he knows a lot of other men can't get to her. In fact, he's not even sure if he can have her. So he'll rarely get the luxury of being able to assume that she's a good time only companion. The doormat is more likely to be perceived as a pushover sexually because she's more likely to sleep with a man for the wrong reasons, and much too soon. Has nothing to do with whether she appears conservative. Whether her style is long skirts and ponytail and she attends napkin folding class, or she wears sexy clothes and seems like a party girl, the outcome can be the same. In either scenario, if she has sex with a man because she feels she needs to in order to win him, he'll sense it and begin to lose respect for her. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is saying, kind of like a little bit about what we were talking about, and maybe someone needed to hear that specific message about sex. Like, I feel like a lot of the time, you know, you can, like, jump into, like, a situation where you kind of, like, give it up before you're really ready to. Like, there is no time frame for things like that. Like, that's, like, your best judgment. But maybe sometimes you feel like, I'd want to wait, but you feel like the person's going to be mad at you, so you kind of just, like, you know, give in. I mean, if that's a specific message for somebody, like, by all means, I feel like that's something, like, a lot of people can relate to in relationships. Like, I know when is the right time to do stuff like that. And I think that what this advice is trying to remind you of is to make sure you're comfortable, and you don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with. Make sure that it feels like the right time for you. And if this person is gonna, like, you know, be mad at you or not respect that, like, let them go, because you don't need that in your life. But, like, at the bottom line here is take all this energy that you're expending and giving towards other people and try to, like, pull it back, you know, just like, like, pull it back to yourself, and start doing things for you. Start cooking your meal for you just when you're home alone. You know, maybe you're the type of person that, like, when your person comes over, you clean the house, you make a delicious gourmet meal, and you do all these things, like, for them. But, like, when you're home alone, you just get, like, Taco Bell with this taco. That's what I'm thinking. And just kind of, like, sit around and, like, just kind of, like, bleh. Like, you know, get dolled up for yourself. Like, you know, make a nice meal for yourself. Like, plan a nice night for yourself, you know? Like, that could be a good way to, like, choose. You definitely need some self-care here, or some self-love going on. And so I hope that was helpful. I feel like it's kind of like self-love, like, duh, like, who doesn't need some more self-love in their life? But I mean, that's the message that kind of came through. But definitely look at your relationship with giving and receiving. And if you feel like you're not receiving something in a relationship, definitely, like, pump the brakes a little bit and see if the person ends up giving back to you. And if not, then you know, it might be time to like change things up a little bit, okay? So I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. Thank you so much for watching, and now we're going to move on to pile 2. Okay, so if you chose pile 2 and this shell, this is going to be your reading. And like the first thing I'm kind of getting with this shell is like an imbalance of the self, like almost like extremes. I'm almost seeing this as like the front of a person where they kind of try to project this image of being like this tall, big in charge person. And then it's like, but underneath there's like these Mars, like these blemishes that kind of the soul almost, that kind of are what's really like causing like this false sense of like confidence or something like that. So we'll see what comes through, but that was kind of like the first thing I was getting. But the first card we have is number 16, freaking beautiful, which says it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. The next card we have is the hedonist and the hunger wolf moon card. We have the Ace of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. And then for your crystal here, Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle card, Peridot, I don't know. I've never heard of that crystal, to be honest with you. Let me just make sure everything is seeable. And let's get into your relationship patterns and what's going on here. So, it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. I feel like you're somebody that kind of has an issue being like authentic to who you truly are, because that's like what this card talks about. It's about like just also I'm getting a sense like it looks like she's giving the side eye like to someone or something. It's like almost like a suspicious, like jealous. There, like I feel like this card talks about jealousy too. So there could be some sort of like insecurities, like not feeling good enough, something where it's like we're looking outside of the self for fulfillment. So in your relationships, again, I'm getting kind of like a sex thing coming through where it's like maybe, because it says indulges at the expense of others as the shadow attribute, pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. And even this, it says, this is the light attribute, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. I feel like that's something that you may struggle with, seeing the beauty. Like I was saying, there's like these blemishes, like, or that's how like almost like you're perceiving, like, or maybe these are just issues that need to be addressed, like these darker, like they look like almost like concentrated energy that's just kind of like stuck that needs to be like released. And in the meantime, because maybe like that kind of work is still in progress or hasn't, you know, really been started yet, there's almost like outside things. Like she's eating, like the hedonist is about indulging in things, even hunger. This little, I guess it's a dragon or a sea serpent. I don't know what this little animal is supposed to be, but there's like a cup of, I'm almost getting like liquid courage or something, or it's almost reminding me of like diet, like, oh, drink this and you'll lose weight, or like something like that, where it's like almost like you maybe look for, like you want to like perfect your body, but you're not realizing that you're already like perfect the way that you are, and that you are a beautiful person inside. You don't need to compare yourself. I feel like there's a lot of like envy, jealousy, like you comparing yourself with other people, maybe in an outer way. I feel as though it's like you don't believe good things about yourself. And it's like looking for validation. I also feel as though there could be something here where like a competitive energy with like other people, where maybe you indulge in a little in some affairs, like, you know, like something like that, where it's like guys that have girlfriends or even married, or even just not even that extreme, but where it's like you think someone likes somebody else, so then you kind of try to like, and it could be very subconscious, where you feel insecure, so you need that extra validation of somebody almost like betraying somebody else. And this is on a gradient, so if you're like, no, like I don't do that, like please don't be offended, like, but like it could just be you indulging in like excessive weight loss to try to make yourself look better. Like this is like, there could be different examples. This is a general reading, so I just wanted to say like it might almost, because it says like indulges at the expense of others, and it's like, okay, if you want to like, I don't know, if you're indulging in too much food, I don't think that's really at the expense of others. Like, so like I'm trying to like think of situations where you could be maybe hurting someone else to like in the pursuit of your own, like trying to like fill a void here. And I feel like that example that you used of like maybe trying to like be a man eater, a man stealer, or something like that could kind of come into play, where it's like you get extra validation from somebody like picking you over somebody else, which I'm not even like judging, because I feel like a lot of times like with this hunger card, I feel like there is like this emptiness inside of you that it's just like you're trying to fill the void, and it's like you're not understanding why it's not being filled. Like you try all these different things, but I feel like the reason is the way you're looking outside of yourself to fulfill it, when what is needed here is to kind of go within and kind of address like where these feelings are like stemming from. Like the example again that I'm using about like being like a like someone that needs, that kind of like goes after other people's partners or whatever, like a reason that that could be a thing. Like say when you were like a kid, you had, you know, a sister, and like your dad like favored, you know, your sibling more, so it's like you're kind of trying to recreate that scenario where like you get chosen over another person. Like, you know, it could be stemming, and it's like take a look at that. Like don't be afraid. Like everybody like makes mistakes in life, and everybody kind of like acts in ways sometimes that are not, you know, they're not the most proud of or whatever, but like it's not like just to hurt people. Even if it does end up doing it, it's like good to take a look at it and kind of be like, okay, like am I happy? Like I'm seeing that your energy seems a little bit hungry, like, and we even have like the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like you're not really getting anywhere in love. Like I feel like you could be kind of like, because the hunger in the Knight of Pentacles, like the Knight of Pentacles already is the slowest moving knight in the deck. Now he's reversed, he stuck, stagnant. Like the Four of Swords is a very stagnant energy, and it's almost like, it's like, oh, if I get this new diet pill and lose a bunch of weight, like then like I'll be deemed like worthy by whoever. It's like stuff like that, where it's like we're trying to look outside of ourselves to try to get like some sort of like validation, but that's not necessary. That's really not necessary. And that's something that you have to realize. It's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Like you don't have to try to be like other people. Like just sink into the essence of who you really are, and accept and love, and just like, you know, forgive yourself, even if you have kind of indulged and done some things that you're not proud of. Like so what? Like live and learn, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like let it go and allow this moment of like awakening to occur, if that's like what's happening to you. And I feel like you're very aware of like other people are doing with these ears being perked up. It's like it's like maybe you see other people. I'm almost getting from The Wedding Singer, when Drew Barrymore, like when she's in the car with her mom and she's like, look at that girl, you're a lot prettier than that girl, and she's getting married. It's almost like that attitude, like I'm prettier than her, like why does she have a boyfriend, or like something like that, where you feel like it's like outer things that like And you and Drew Barrymore, Julia, she's like, what does pretty have to do with getting married? It's like you have to have that realization that like it's more about your inner vibration and your inner beliefs about yourself. And like I really feel that there is some like gunk inside that needs to be kind of cleaned out. And I want to read this card, the Peridot. I don't know. I'm sorry if you're just like Peridot or whatever you pronounce this. But let's see what it says. Emotional cleansing. Yeah. Peridot, I'm just going to go with that. Frees the mind from unwelcome, envious thoughts and night terrors. It is transmutative and purifying. You are deeply emotional and may possessively cling to the past or beat yourself up over mistakes. By nature jealous, you have dark thoughts. Detoxify your emotions, learn to forgive and let go. Follow your own life plan without judging yourself or being envious of others. You have the power to go through fiery transmutation and emerge transformed. Use energy wisely. Recognize how outside influences operate in your life. Develop your own protection. Learn to rely on your own inner guidance. Be assertive without aggression. You have a powerful destiny and great integrity. Money is earned from your talents. Envy and jealousy harm you as well as hurting others. Yeah, and it's like if you have like resentment towards people in relationships and stuff like that, think about it. Like resentment, they always say it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You're the one sitting here with these envious thoughts. They're like living their life happy and you're just like bah, bah, bah. And it's like, you know, recognize that and be like, okay, like, do I feel good when I'm feeling jealous of people? No, like, live and let live, you know, let them be. Like, let me try to like work on myself a little bit and stop worrying about what other people are doing and like take this attention. That was kind of like a message in pile one, but in a completely different way. But this is more like that was more of like over giving. This is more like trying to like pick out like maybe like what's wrong with other people, but instead of taking a look in the mirror or something like that, I'm getting here. So I don't know. I would definitely try to like perk up those ears to your own inner voice instead of like what other people, everyone else is doing, and just take an honest look at yourself and don't be afraid to, and don't get wrapped up in these feelings of guilt and stuff like that where, you know, you're going to beat yourself up forever if you've made some poor decisions. Like, who cares? Everybody does. Like, you know, don't be afraid to just like face the truth of things like that, because that could be like a huge turning point in your life and it could help you clear out some of this gunk here and like pave the way for something beautiful. So let's see. I'm going to get some advice cards from these like tough love. Like they can be a little tough, as I learned in the last pile. But let me see. I think this side has to come out first. So let's see. What advice for my pile 2 spirit? What do you have for pile 2? Oh. Winning. You got a good thing going. Don't ruin that shit. So, stop, honey. So it's like you're already a winner. Like you already have everything you need. Like you are freaking beautiful already. Like you don't need to like let envy, jealousy, like other, like comparing yourself with others, like ruin or kind of distort like that self-image. You have to learn how to like see beyond that. Let's see. Oh. What the hell are you waiting for? Get that shit done. If you're waiting for a sign, well, here it fucking is. Oh, whatever that means to you. Maybe I think that it's coming over this 4 of Swords. It's about kind of taking an honest assessment of yourself and just how you feel in life. Are you happy being this way? Like maybe you are. And if so, more power to you. But I mean, definitely take the time to find out. You don't always have to go on the way that you've always been. Let's see. Oh. Laugh. Where the fuck is your sense of humor? Yeah, don't take everything so seriously. Like, just, I have to sneeze. Chew. Chew. Excuse me. So yeah. Laugh, lighten up a little bit, try to start seeing the lighter side of life, enjoying things more just for the sake of enjoying them. And like, not just about if it's like you're going to one up somebody else or like look good in front of other people. Like just do it for you, you know, like have more fun and laughter in your life and just lighten up a little bit. So now we're going to dip into this book. What advice does pile 2 need? Sherry, Spirit, what do you got for us in pile 2? Interesting. it says how to shift blame, the textbook guide. This is about when like, this is like a book written for women, like about men obviously, so it's like when the woman is like right about something, like look, if she is clearly right, find fault with her that has nothing to do with the incident and use that. Be sure to create your own imaginary panel of experts composed of people she's never met. Say, even Joe and Jim agree with me and think you were being completely unreasonable. So I think this is also saying, like, again, shifting blame. That's funny that we opened to that page, but I feel like, again, that's kind of like some advice for you about, like, looking to outside things as like a reason why like you're not being successful in certain areas, and like look in the mirror. I'll just read this. When she tries to explain the same thing in a different way, roll your eyes. Appoint yourself her in-house therapist. Say, you do this to yourself. Why do you do this to yourself? So there could even be some sort of like manipulation on your part, which I know the word manipulation is such an evil like connotations, but it's like maybe you found like emotional, like you almost like play the victim to get people to feel sorry. I'm so sorry. That sounds horrible. Like, I'm not trying to like say that, but like if you don't do that or whatever, but like it's look, and remember, it's always her fault. That's your story and you're sticking to it. It's like, again, it's like everyone else is responsible for things. It's like we have to start taking a look in the mirror and thinking like, what part am I playing in this? If you really do want love, like, you know, and it's, if you're not like resonating with this at all, like, then this isn't your pile. Like, if you're like, no, like, I'm nothing like that, like, then you're not like that and you know it. But if it's kind of hitting a chord, striking a chord, you know, don't be afraid to take a look at it. Let's see. And maybe this is about nagging. So I'm going to start here. Negative attention is still attention if it lets a man know that he has you right where he wants you. It doesn't matter if you're a high-powered litigation attorney and can give a closing argument that makes his head spin. Nagging still reassures him of where he stands and where you stand. It doesn't give him anything to worry about, think about, or mull over. It doesn't intrigue him or pull him in. Instead, he tunes you out. Now you want to talk and he wants to do anything except talk. And if you press the issue, he'll shift the blame. So then it says that stuff that we were just reading about. The other thing he'll do is tune you out completely. He can see lips moving, but he cannot hear what you're saying. Like a remote control in his head, you've been muted. Ideally, his hope is that you'll nag yourself silly to the point of exhaustion. He figures if he bides his time, eventually you'll wear yourself out and go away. Women differ in terms of how long it takes them to run out of steam. Evidently, according to the men I interviewed, each woman, as with clothing, perfume, and lovemaking, has her own personalized style of nagging. Here are some, just to name a few. So I don't know, maybe that's something like when you're unsatisfied, it's like you're kind of like nagging to a guy, and let's see, and like kind of like, oh, but like I'm not happy. Like you have this hunger inside of you and you feel like you're waiting for the guy to fulfill it. When you're in a relationship or something, that could be a thing. The marathon nagger. This woman will nag for a longer time, so she paces herself for 2 to 3 hours. The sprint nagger. This woman will nag for a shorter period of time. It is a more intense burst, so she'll get tired much more quickly. The momentum whiner. This woman will start out with a whine and then slowly pick up momentum, building up to a nag. I mean, I'm not really I'm more resonating with this, how to shift the blame. And that was the first thing I saw. I feel like that is kind of like the message with this book is, if you can recognize or stop shifting blame onto other people and take a look at yourself, I think that you will make a lot of progress in your life. I'm not sitting here blaming you or telling you that you're doing this. This is just maybe something to take a look at. Maybe it's something for you to take a look at and realize like, no, that's not me, and become more confident in yourself. Doesn't mean that what I'm saying is the law by any means. So take a look, no matter what you end up, you know, deciding is your truth or not. And don't be afraid to do it, because you get to decide. Like, you are freaking beautiful and you get to decide. I kind of want to read the message out of this book for you guys. I didn't do that for the first pile. I kind of have to go get it. I'll be right back. But I feel like it's important. Okay, I'm back. So
freaking beautiful. You are here to march to your own beat. You can be happy and free whether the world looks at you with awe, admiration, confusion, or love, or all of these at once. Others can love you even if they can't always understand you. Being different doesn't have to mean being alone. It's only when you try to change yourself to fit into a stereotype that you will lose your way, becoming unhappy, discovering obstacles, and feeling increasingly rejected or defeated. The universe doesn't want you to be someone else. It wants you to be you. When you quit trying to fit in and enjoy yourself, being yourself, you win. Normal is not for you. Don't be afraid of that. Deep down, you are the good kind of crazy, an individual. You would never be happy trying to be the same as everyone else. You have an inner sense of justice and a need to question authority when it doesn't earn your respect. This may make some people uncomfortable, while it inspires others to think for themselves and not automatically assume that everything they are told is correct. We need more of this in our world. You are a free thinker with a different point of view to most people. This isn't a sign that something is wrong with you, but a sign of something special, a gift to see and express things differently. The world needs much more of that too. Your weird streak is a proverbial breath of fresh air, preventing unimaginative collapse into the boredom of sameness. It also makes you a divine poster child for others who want to break free from conformity and unapologetically be truly themselves. It means that you get to dream up your own destiny and you don't have to worry what anyone else has to say about it. The universe will support you every step of the way because it so enjoys you being you. So yeah, celebrate who you are, let go of any resentments, and just be you, boo. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so if you chose pile 3, this starfish, and this pile of cards, this is going to be your reading. I'm getting a protective energy from you, immediately an armor, almost like an overgiving in a relationship maybe, or overgiving and then being, well, let's see what comes through. But the first card is the Spirit Warrior, be brave and true, love. The next card is the Gambler. The next card is Peace. We have the Star, hello, hello. The Ten of Swords. Yes, this is what I'm getting with this. All these like bumps. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe there is like 10 swords. It's almost like, yeah, this is like this energy coming through. The Queen of Wands. For your crystal, we have the Nirvana quartz. Okay. So how are you effing up in love? No, I'm just kidding. But like where is the imbalance at here? So I feel like you're somebody that has probably been through many cycles in love, many relationships, had many like deaths and rebirths in your life, be it romantic relationships, friendships, things like that. I feel so you're somebody that kind of just like has been hurt a lot, but at the same time there's this like naivete, I don't know how you say that to you, where you will just like jump into something blindly despite having been hurt. It's like a cycle that keeps going around, where it's like, oh, I met somebody and I'm feeling like my head's in the clouds and like there's rocket ships and beautiful lights, and then it's like back down to earth with this lizard with the swords in your back, and then it's like picking yourself up and being strong, and then the cycle, and then like when you're in that energy, attracting people to you and kind of starting the cycle over. Now I feel as though I'm getting a sense here that you're this Queen of Wands. I feel like this could be a thing where you kind of like date down. I feel like you could maybe not even date down as in like you're better than the people that you date, but maybe you kind of base your criteria for like choosing somebody on things from the past. Okay, so say you had a boyfriend, your last boyfriend was very controlling. So like now you meet a guy and they're very like laid back and carefree, and you're like, oh, this is like the opposite of the last guy, so I'm gonna be happy because like I didn't like that he was so controlling. But now you're with this guy that's like
lazy and just stays at home and drinks all day and doesn't work, or works very little and doesn't contribute to your life together. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something in the criteria that you're trying to like find a mate with is like off. Like, you know, it's like it's coming from the wrong reasons. I also feel like people could kind of hook you with their little like sob stories or something like that. I feel like you're a very empathetic person because you've been through a lot. You're a spirit warrior, and that to me is like someone that has had to learn compassion the hard way by like going through things and being effed over and still finding compassion for other people. And I feel like you could find compassion for like a murderer. Maybe not like literally, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could find compassion for all kinds of people. Like, you are truly, you're able to see beyond your own pain and like see into people's hearts. Like, but the thing is like, maybe, yeah, there are certain things in their hearts, but like their heart and mind are not connected. So they're not acting in the way, like, even if what you're seeing is true and they have this potential, like, yeah, like Ariana Grande, you're seeing potential without seeing credentials, and that's not a recipe for a successful relationship necessarily. um I'm also kind of getting, there's this episode of Sex in the City, I don't remember what episode it is, but they're talking about their relationship patterns, like all the girls, and then they get to Charlotte and they're like, you have a very obvious pattern, and she's like, what? And they're like, you meet this guy, you project this whole fantasy onto them that they're going to be this perfect guy, you're going to have this perfect wedding with this perfect apartment and these perfect kids, and place all these like, you know, unrealistic expectations on this person, which promptly blow up in your pretty little face. And she's like, oh my god, that's a horrible pattern. And then she starts like trying to like date a bunch of different guys at once, and then that blows up in her face too, and then she decides to stop listening to her friends. But I love that episode, I love that show. But it's almost like that, where it's like, oh, I'm flying high in the sky, like I was saying, and then like back down to earth, and then it's like start over, like lather, rinse, repeat, like here we go again. Like, I feel like this is something, not that you're not learning, I feel like you learn a lot from every relationship that you've been in, but at the same time, you have a tendency to kind of like jump first and ask questions later. And willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Like, you follow your heart, period. Like, whether people are like, that guy seems a little sketchy, like, didn't he just get out of prison? You're just like, no, but he's such a good heart. Like, I'm not saying that's like necessarily, but it's like, you know, that's obviously an exaggerated example, but I feel like it could be something like that, where it's like, that guy seems a little sketchy, like that guy seems a little bit, I don't know, like, and you're just like, no, no, like, I know that it's right, like, and you're kind of just like on cloud nine, and then it's like, it's like Katy Perry Wide Awake, then you're bam on the concrete and building up your power again. And, you know, I don't know, like, I feel like, what is the way to move forward from a pattern like this? It's tough because I feel like you're so set on following your heart, and it doesn't matter what anyone said. Like, it's like your heart speaks, and it's like you have an untamed heart almost. And it's like it's hard for you to really do anything other than like what your heart dictates. I guess what I would suggest is to, if you say you like somebody new, be like, am I, you know, is this stemming from a place of wanting to protect this person because I feel bad for them, or because they really complete me and are a good match for me? I don't know. Like, how compatible are we? Like, look at, like, what are our values? Like, looking at things like that, like, maybe look up some things online, like what makes a compatible relationship, and like kind of like a little quiz or something. I mean, I know that sounds silly to do, but maybe just try to, before you get fully emotionally invested here, try to take a look at like if you're truly compatible, and maybe open up and be, you know, be open to what other people say, like your friends and family. Because like, think about it, even if you don't like agree, you could just be like shut down, like the eyes are closed here, there's a blindfold on, eyes are closed here, eyes are closed here, eyes are closed there. Like, we don't want to let anything in except our own guidance, which is good, but sometimes spirit sends guidance through other people, you know. Sometimes like someone will say an offhand comment to you and it would be like a little chicken nugget of wisdom there that you're like, whoa, like, so accept that wisdom can come from outside of yourself too. And be like delivered in another way. And at least, it doesn't mean you have to take everything everybody else says, but you could at least consider it, if that makes sense. So let's get some of these advice cards. Oh, and I also want to read your crystal. It's all about enlightenment. Let's see though. What advice for pile 3 spirit do we have? This is tough love advice, so take it with a grain of salt. It can be a little brutal sometimes, but sometimes it's not. What is advice for pile 3 spirit? What advice do you have for pile 3? Oh my god, I'm shaking the camera probably. Come on. They're like, she's not going to listen to us anyway, so we're not even going to tell you. No, come on. We're ready to listen. What advice for pile 3 do you have? Okay. Detox. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, and throw some shit out. So that could just be some advice for you. Clean house, clean up your space. I don't know. Maybe you need to hear that. That card was trying to come out winning. You got a good thing going. Don't ruin that shit. Oh, another one flipped. Stop texting, stop stalking, stop checking on that person. Just fucking stop. Spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. So maybe some of you are engaging in something like that right now. Where, because it doesn't say that asshole. No, spend your time on someone worth it. So maybe again, it's like there's like this vibe of like dating down. You're the effing Queen of Wands. You're the star here. Like, find another star. You know? Find another star. Someone that's offering you what you offer back. I don't know. Let's look into the book here. Where is it? What did I do with it? Oh. What does pile 3? Drop the fucking ego. Vulnerability is hot as fuck. Yeah, be open to what other people say. There is a little bit of ego going on here. Like, I've been through things and I know what's best. And I'm not saying that you don't, but other people know things too, you know? Especially if you're like the spirit warrior, the spiritual person, this Queen of Wands. Maybe people have practical advice. Like maybe like, you know, where you have more like spiritual advice, like other people could offer more practical advice, like things like that, or whatever it is for you. Like something that you excel at, but then there's somewhere you're weak. Like recognize your strengths and your weaknesses, like, and don't feel like you have to do everything on your own. Be open to other people's advice. But okay, let's see. What dating advice do we have for pile 3? It says charity begins at home. Yes, I feel like dating down, you feel bad for people. So let's replace charity begins at home. There's no charity case in this home. Yeah, no charity cases. All's well that ends well. Let's replace all's well that ends well with all's well for those who cover their ends well. Let's replace love thy neighbor with love thyself first, and your neighbor will be happier living next to you. I don't know, what is this? I don't know. It's like a little chart about like, it's like how we're conditioned from a young age to like, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you have this like compassion, and then let's say like, but we're saying let's replace that with, but like this conditioning is kind of like maybe you took it literally as like a child, and it's like you always treat people, and put other people before you emotionally. So let's replace do unto others as you would have others do unto you with do unto others after they show you they are worthy. Oh my God, that worthy thing. Where was it? Was it here? To spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. Yeah, after they show you they're worthy. Like,
even if they have a sad story, that's probably their, you know, everyone is responsible for their own lives. Like, you're not responsible to fix their life. Let's replace love conquers all with love conquers her when she gives all. Interesting. Let's replace to give is better than to receive with it's better to give and receive. Yeah, it is. Why should you be the only one giving? Make sure you're getting shit back too. Like, not in a way where it's like, you know, oh, I'm only going to do something to get something, but why should you be depleted? Charity begins at home with there is no charity case in this home. Let's replace all's well that ends well with all's well for those who cover their ends well. And love thy neighbor, love thyself first, and your neighbor will be happier. Yeah, when you're happy and emotionally satisfied, like, so will your person. Attraction principle 50. The nice girl gives away too much of herself when pleasing him regularly becomes more important than pleasing herself. Many times when you are going through your daily life, attraction principle 50 will be very subtle. For example, a woman may have spread herself very thin between her career and her time to herself, and she's exhausted. He asks her out. How about Wednesday? She tells him Wednesday isn't good because of work demands on Thursday morning, so he asks, how about Tuesday or Thursday? Then she accepts. Her needs are swept under the rug, and worse yet, she is doing the sweeping. Then she goes out and she is cranky and irritated because she is overworked and hasn't rested. The bitch doesn't take the more difficult course. She takes the easier course. How hard is it to suggest the weekend would really be better? It is better for everyone involved. The bitch is her own guide. So, yeah, just be realistic about your needs, your demands, and, you know, take a look at, like, maybe some beliefs from childhood about, like, having to always be nice, the golden rule, and, like, you know, mix them up a little bit and be like, you know, make your own rules for yourself, and don't be afraid to listen to what other people have to say. Let's just read this Nirvana Quartz entry really quick because I said I was going to do that. Nirvana Quartz assists in stepping off the karmic wheel, bringing light and bliss consciousness. For many lifetimes you have been working with your karma. That is now past. There is no need for restitution nor punishment or guilt. Let those go so that you recognize your full potential, receiving a download of cosmic light that transforms your being. Ooh. Step off the karmic round and allow the karma of grace to manifest. Open yourself to receive enlightenment. Recognize this as a new beginning and fresh energy. If you are experiencing traumatic times and soul challenges, relax and wait for resolution. Do not push against the river. Go with the flow. Karma is created each moment by every thought and deed. Uplifting thoughts and positive actions ensure your future well-being. So it doesn't mean you have to be, you know, you could still be a good, positive person, but you could also be good and kind to yourself too. So we're going to leave it there. I hope that was helpful in some way. If you like this reading, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. I appreciate you guys for watching and taking the time. Thank you so much. Catch you in the next one. Bye.